Hello everybody. Today in this session, we'll discuss the previous class chapter, that is marketing, the development of concept. So in this session, we'll try to understand marketing myopia, then the dynamics in marketing. Then we'll also discuss the significance of marketing in the airlines industry, banking industry, and in education industry. So this is basically our today's topic for discussion. So based on this topic, we'll address some basic question. These question are like, what do you understand by marketing myopia? Give example. Then discuss the different dynamics in marketing. Discuss the different dynamics in marketing. These are some basic concept related to the marketing. Then we'll also discuss what are the significance of marketing in airlines industry, banking industry, and in education industry. Or differently, question also may come that critically examine the importance of marketing in airlines, banking, and in education industry. So these are the question answer I will be addressing throughout this session. Now first I will discuss marketing myopia. Marketing myopia, if I tell you simply, myopia means short-sightedness. What I said, myopia means short-sightedness. Now Theodore Levitt basically is a very renowned marketing personnel. He contributed a lot in the marketing area, and Theodore Levitt in one of his classic article, Marketing Myopia, published in Harvard Business Review, argues that industry or companies fails not because of market are saturated, but because of failure and short-sightedness of the management. So what he said, again I am repeating, he said that industry fails, not market are saturated, but because of failure and short-sightedness of the management. Now in Indian context, if we think example, we can say about the Indian railroad industry. So Indian railroad industry, how it should be flourished. Till now it has not expand like this or flourished like this. Like if we talk about the bullet train, we are far behind. If we compare with other countries, developed countries, even if we compare with China, we are far behind in expansion of the bullet trains. So their railroad industries suffers from the clear vision. Okay. Then similarly, if we talk about some companies like Pager, earlier there was one product called Pager. So Pager industry failed due to they were unable to cope up with the changing technology, or due to the short-sightedness of their management. Management was not focused. They were not techno-oriented, and they were unable to estimate the market threat. Like this, that happened with Nokia also. Nokia mobile handset. Then Kellogg's, when initially it was being introduced in India. So like this, examples are there. Especially you need to keep in mind that marketing myopia occurs when a company is excessively preoccupied with the production, manufacturing, and selling, ignoring the customer need, wants, and preference. What I said, like if companies are product oriented, not customer oriented, then company may face marketing myopia. What I said, I repeat again, if companies are product oriented, and not customer oriented, then they will neglect the customer need, want, preference, taste, like these things. And in that case, company may face marketing myopia in the long run. Okay, so moreover, Theodore Levitt further argued, he published one book also. In his book, The Marketing Imagination, he has cited 4 conditions for business obsolescence as a result of marketing myopia. Okay, and these 4 conditions are like if there is a belief of companies that as more and more of the population become affluent. Become affluent means buying power of the consumer increases. Okay, consumer income increase, consumer became more richer than earlier. The market expand, and more and more people buy products. In other words, if the market for a product expand automatically, companies do not think imaginatively about how to expand the market. Okay, now see, these are the condition which Theodore Levitt argued in his one book, that if companies thinks like this, they may suffer from marketing myopia. Like first condition is like if companies thinks that people will be becoming rich and they will be purchasing product and market will expand like this. Then secondly, like market will expand automatically. There is no need to do anything for market expansion. Then second condition is the belief that there is no substitute for the industry major product. If company believe that there is no substitutes or alternatives for their products, in that case also company may face marketing myopia. Then another things like the belief that by producing in large quantities, per unit output cost can be significantly reduced, forgetting the market demand and supply aspect. Now see, if company produce in large quantities, there is a universal truth that per unit cost can be reduced. Per unit production cost can be reduced significantly. But in that case, company should not forget the demand and supply aspect. Okay, then another condition, preoccupation with the product, that leads itself to carefully controlled scientific experimentation, improved and manufacturing cost reduction. Okay, like earlier also I have mentioned, like if companies are very much excessively preoccupied with the production process, they are taking care of the controlled scientific experimentation, improving the production plant, machineries, they are reducing the manufacturing cost. But if they neglect the customer wants, taste and preference, then company may suffer marketing myopia. So these are the 4 conditions under which if company focus their business, then company may face marketing myopia. Now Theodore Levitt also suggested some ways to overcome from the marketing myopia, or you can say that Theodore Levitt have recommended some ways to overcome from the marketing myopia. Now these ways are like be customer led, not product oriented, or simply you can say be customer oriented, not product oriented. Customer oriented means thinking about the customer need, wants, taste, preference, likeliness. Okay, then developing the product. And if companies thinks like this, develop plan like this, then automatically product will be accepted by the market or consumer, then company will get success in the long run. Then market orientation should inculcate throughout the organization. Market orientation means the environment of marketing or market environment should be nurtured throughout the organization. See, marketing is not a department specific job. I mean that it is not the job of only marketing department. Marketing should spread throughout the organization, through all departments. That day I was talking about the functional integration, like HR, production, purchase department, sales department, marketing department, research and development department, engineering department. All departments should be integrated into one, and they all should work for marketing. There should be a free information from one department to another department, and that will that will be the nurturing or inculcating the market orientation throughout the organization, from supplier information, from retailer, supplier to the company. Okay, company means to the marketing department, to sales department, then passing this information to the research and development department, and then research and development department can design a customer oriented product. Then finally, managers need to be proactive and visionary. Manager need to be proactive means manager need to think about the customers, their problems, their likeliness. And managers should also be visionary. They should have a long run vision for their company. So these are the some conditions, okay, or recommendations from the Theodore Levitt, and through this a company may overcome from the marketing myopia. So in a nutshell, what we understood, that marketing myopia is basically one kind of short-sightedness or failure of the management. Now we'll discuss marketing dynamics. Marketing dynamics we'll discuss from 2 points of view. One is company's response and adjustment. Another is marketers' response and adjustment. Or we can say company and marketers' response and adjustments. Okay, so in the marketing dynamics, we'll go through some, very fundamental concepts of the marketing, which basically every company takes care, or companies managers need to take care. So among them, first is re-engineering. Re-engineering is a process where company follows the redesigning or restructuring of the products, design, model, or process. Re-engineering the process means redesigning the process, which will suit the customer requirements or which will be business oriented. Then outsourcing. Nowadays, due to the cutthroat competition, every company are focusing on their core competencies. Core competencies means the core activity where company have the specialization, expertise. Okay, so apart from these, company can outsource the other additional activities from another organization. Like company can take help from a specialized organization for their additional service. Like here I will give you one example. Like nowadays, just now we'll discuss e-commerce. Okay, so before discussing e-commerce, all of you know about the Flipkart, Amazon, how they are doing business. Okay, so they have a very good supply chain management, from the retailer to then picking getting order, then placing the product to the customer doorstep. So they hire the courier service from a outsourced agency. Okay, but the Flipkart core activity, core competencies is selling product. They give attractive offers and they sell product. But other activities they are outsourcing, okay, to certain extent. Now we will come to e-commerce. E-commerce means electronic commerce. See, in electronic commerce there are 3 terms: business to business, then business to customer, then customer to customer. These are very popular terms. Nowadays, due to the rapid expansion of the information technology, e-commerce are very popular. Okay, and online shopping or internet shopping, these are very popular, and every companies are making their footprints in e-commerce. Then benchmarking. Benchmarking is a process through which company follow a particular standard, established standard. Now, earlier what used to happen, company used to set their own benchmark. That means company used to set up a standard and they used to follow that standard. But nowadays, what happens, every company follows the market leader. They consider market leader business process as their benchmark, and they try to follow that benchmark. Like customer service, then maintaining customers, customer retention, customer acquisition, all around company may follow a particular benchmark. Then suppliers, like suppliers are very vital in any kind of business. So if company have a small supplier, medium scale supplier or large scale supplier, they need to maintain a proper coordination and cooperation with their suppliers, because suppliers basically deal with the inventory management process. Inventory means raw materials, okay, or like these things, or finished products which need to send to the distributors or to the retailers. Okay, so if we consider raw material procured from a supplier, so that comes in the inventory management process. So this is very vital because these are inputs in the production process. So there also company can minimize the cost, and if company are able to minimize the cost, then they will be able to produce a goods with a lesser cost. Then global and local market. Nowadays you see every company they are looking for domestic market as well as they are looking for overseas market. And going overseas, it's not a problem, it's not a challenging task, because nowadays due to the internet or online information technology, okay, company can very easily expand their network globally. And physically also companies are expanding their network globally, because this is basically necessary for every company to look for the local market as well as for the global market. Then decentralization. Now decentralization is a process through which companies follows distribution of the power, distribution of the decision making power. Okay, earlier what used to happen, the power or decision making authority was used to lies with the top level management, but due to the competition, companies are following the decentralization process, and due to that, in the branch level or in the central level also, companies are nowadays taking vital decisions. Then customization nowadays at the highest stage. Customization means tailor-made product. Tailor-made product means like customer oriented, customer specific product, like tailor, okay, who basically teaches our clothes like shirt, okay, they do tailor-made. They do teaching of our clothes as required by the customer, or as it will fit the customer. So companies also, they are focusing on the customization process, how they can customize the process which will suit the individual requirement. Individual requirement means customer requirement. Then building a good relationship with customers. Overall, see, customers gives business to the company. So companies need to maintain good relationship with the customers, and there is a term called relationship marketing. Companies are focusing to build good relation with their customers through relationship marketing or through public relation officers. Okay, and this is a continuous process. Then target marketing. Target marketing, companies need to discover new target market. If it is a new product, they can they need to identify the target segment very properly, very accurately. Otherwise, product may fail. But if it is an existing product or long, standing product or old product, then companies need to identify new market segment. Here, I will give you example of the Cadbury chocolate. See, Cadbury chocolate or cold drinks also. Sometimes we see that Cadbury chocolate, they project themselves as a occasional sweets. Okay, or nowadays cold drinks companies, they are projecting that if somebody comes at home, like guest comes at home, you can offer cold drinks instead of tea and coffee. Or celebration showing celebration with the cold drinks or Cadbury chocolate. So these are new target market, creating the target segment. Like earlier they were projecting on the individuals. Okay, sometimes Cadbury chocolate have the brand and endorser, like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan have endorsed their brand. Okay, so that time they are focusing on the age-old people. So like this company, target to new segment and they, penetrate new market. Then customer database. Customer database, like company need to, accumulate or collect customer data and proper using those customer database, like organized retailers or companies, those who are having online business, business, they can maintain customer database, and when they introduce, different offers, discounts, they can inform their customer very easily, and that also generates business. So maintaining customer database is very vital, and from this customer database, company can generate new business, and customer can reach to new customer also, because this existing customer will recommend the company's product to new customers. Then last one, integrated marketing communication. In the integrated marketing communication, company need to develop a integrated marketing communication. That will be the combination of different media into one, like one message, one communication message or advertising message will be telecast through different media, like one or two television channel, then one print media, like print media means like newspapers, national newspaper or regional newspaper, then signboard hoardings, okay, or any special interest magazine like sports magazine. So throughout all media, one single message will be communicated. That is basically the integrated marketing communication. So this kind of communication becomes effective and efficient, and this gives very good result. Now we'll discuss the significance of marketing in the airlines, banking and education industry. First we'll discuss the airlines industry. See, industry is combination of more than one firm. Okay, what I said, that industry is the combination of more than one firm of same kind or homogeneous category. Like if I say airlines industry, that means some airlines companies like Indigo, SpiceJet, Indian Airlines, earlier there was Jet Airways, Qatar Airways, Air India, earlier there was Kingfisher also. Okay, so these consist of the airline industry. Now we'll go through the characteristics of the airline industry. Now if we go through the characteristics of the airlines industry, this industry is basically highly competitive in nature. Highly competitive in nature means competition is high, or intensity of the competition is very high, cutthroat competition. That's why you see some airlines companies are incurring losses, and in the long run they are bound to withdraw their business, like Jet Airways, Okay, SpiceJet have withdrawn from Tripura, Agartala. Okay, so like these things happens. Then its growth is closely linked to economic growth. Growth of the airlines industry is directly or closely linked to the economic growth. Okay, if aviation sector flourish, then GDP will also increase. Then it offers intangible and perishable product. Intangible and perishable product means, intangible means which you cannot touch, we cannot see, but we can experience. Like aviation, airline service, we can experience, we can avail. Okay, perishable means it is risky. Risky in that sense, like if we consider one, aeroplane have 180 seat capacity. Now on a particular day, the airline service provider were able to sold 100 tickets. Okay, so 100 customer. With that 100 customer, if the airlines flies from one place to another place on a particular day and time, that means on that day and time, the airlines have incurred the loss of 80 passengers. So that loss are never be recoverable, because that loss have been incurred by that company. Same with the hotel. In a hotel, if there is 300 rooms, so on a particular day, 250 rooms are filled up with the visitors, 50 are vacant, 50 rooms are not sold, got sold. Okay, so these 50 loss have been incurred by that hotel owners on that particular day. Okay, so that's make it perishable in nature. Then it seeks optimum utilization of flight capacity. Okay, so optimum utilization of flight capacity is also one core characteristics of the airline industry. Now we'll go through the marketing strategies of the airline industry. Like we'll discuss few marketing strategy which airlines industry already follows. Okay, so we'll discuss some of them. Now the airlines industry need to eliminate costs that do not add value and employ the saving to provide better quality service. What I said, that the airlines industry need to eliminate costs that do not add value and employ the savings to provide better quality service. Okay, so these airlines companies need to eliminate costs that do not add value and that need to employ the savings to provide better quality service. Then airlines companies need to target niche market. Niche market means niche market is a market which market is a small market but profit potentiality is there. What I said, what is niche market? Niche market. Niche market is a small market where profit potentiality is there. Okay, so Air Deccan offers low cost, no frills means low cost aircraft and caters to secondary airports in smaller cities. That is basically followed by Indigo also. Then establish marketing tie-up with travel agent and offers them incentive and commission, or as some airlines are doing, provide some ticketing over the internet and bypass travel agents altogether. Then offering competitive frequent flyer scheme, discount package, etc. That also carried out by many of the airline service providers. Then entering into trade alliance with other business, entering into trade alliance with other businesses. Then entering into operational agreement and code sharing with other airlines. Okay, entering into operational agreements and code sharing with other airlines. Like this is basically the operational tie-up. Like if a flight move from Delhi to in other country, like say for example California, or in other country, then operational agreements can be done, and their code sharing can be done for the easy operational process. Like flights moving from Agartala to Chennai or Bengaluru, so that may be via Guwahati. So from Guwahati, they can arrange tie up with other airline service provider, and the passenger will be transferred to other airline service provider, and they will carry them to Bengaluru or Chennai. Like this operational arrangement need to be done, as it is very much competitive. Competition is high. Okay, so this kind of operational arrangement also can generate business. Then now we'll talk about the banking industry. See, again, banking industry means we can assume many numbers of bank. So here private as well as the public sector banks. Okay, like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, HSBC Bank, Kotak Bank, Axis Bank, okay, Union Bank of India, then Citibank, Yes Bank. Okay, so SBI. These consist of the banking industry. Now we'll talk about the definition of bank marketing. What do you understand by bank marketing? Okay, so to get the answer of this, or what is bank marketing? So bank marketing is the aggregate of functions directed at providing service to satisfy customer financial needs and wants more effectively and efficiently than the competitors, keeping in view the organizational objective of the bank. Okay, so this is basically the bank marketing. And marketing and banks, how it is basically stands, like having extension counter, home banking, ATMs, internet banking, mobile banking. These are basically the backbone of the banking industry. See, in the definition what we have seen, that providing service to satisfy the financial need and wants of the customers more effectively and efficiently than competitors, keeping in view the organizational objectives of the bank. Okay, so how bank can provide service, better service? Through extension counter, home banking, ATM machines, okay, ATMs, then internet banking, mobile banking. Through this, bank can satisfy the customers' financial needs and wants more effectively and efficiently. And if you observe, you will see that some banks are very much ahead in their mobile banking, internet banking, even in ATMs. ATM networks are very extended. Then one bank, IDFC Bank, they are specialized in home banking. IDFC First Bank. Now we'll talk about the education industry. Education industry consists of the universities, institutes of national importance. Like in India, if we talk, education industry consists of state university, central university, then institute of national importance like IIMs, IITs, NITs, then Symbiosis, XLRI, then ICFI Business School, SRM, lovely professional universities. All these consist of the educational industry, or they are vital player in the education industry. Now, how to market the education? Okay, so to market the education, in marketing of education, there are 5 P's are required. That is known as marketing mix of the education industry. And these are product, place, price, promotion, and physical infrastructure. And every good educational institution should have this product, like the courses or programs. Okay, place the location of the institute or university. Then price, the program fee. Then promotion, it can be through electronic media, print media, outdoor media. Now in electronic media, it can be social media, then television channels. Social media is very much effective in promotion. Then print media, newspapers, magazines. Then outdoor media like hoarding, signboard, billboards. Okay, then physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure means the infrastructure of the university or the institute. That includes classroom, okay, then library, academic building, administrative building, laboratories, computer lab, all these things. So the marketing of education basically depends on these things, and the institutes or the universities, those who are good in all these things, they are doing extremely very well nowadays. Now we'll talk about the marketing strategies of the education. Like here we can say that industry service provider need to clarify on the objective of the service. Now education industry, the service provider need clarity on the objective of the service. They should have a clear objective, clear vision, that which segment they are dealing with, what will be their program fee, and these things should be clear. Then this service provider need to identify the target segment and preference of the segment for the service. The service provider need to identify the target segment and preference of the segment for the service. Here, see, I will tell you, like all of you know IIMs. So IIM, they do business with a particular segment. Like this, every players in the education industry, they have different segment to do business with or to give the service. Service provider need to design a strategy that would attract the target customer. The service provider need to develop a attractive strategy that will attract the target customers. Now we can see in this sector, some universities, institutes are there who basically maintain very low program fee with better infrastructure and better promotional strategy. And obviously all these institutes and universities are doing extremely very well. Now along with this, another important thing that is also you can consider placement. Placement is also very important for the education industry. So if one education service providers, placement is very strong, so they will be doing extremely very well. Now I will go through this session activity. Now for this session, I have identified 3 activities and case study also. So I am not mentioning the case study here, but these 3 activities are like organizing a brainstorming session on the significance of marketing myopia. Brainstorming session on the importance of marketing myopia. Using of example like failure of pager industry. Pager was a product. You can Google search about the pager industry. Okay, and that miserably failed when mobile came into existence. Then other product and service, like we talked about Nokia. Then initially Kellogg's failed. Like this, some more example can be discussed. Then discussion on the obsolescence of different products and service from the market. Here also we can observe that what are the products have obsolete from the market, or companies have withdrawn the product or service from the market. So after identification, we can do a discussion that why they have been withdrawn or they obsolete from the market. Then discussion on different sales promotional strategies adopted by airlines, banking, and education industry. So this is a detailed discussion session following the different sales promotional strategies adopted by airlines industry, banking industry, and education industry. And after that, we can do a comparison of the sales promotional strategies adopted by these three industries. So through this, it will be a practical learning. Through these activities, all of you will get the practical exposure. Now the session summary. In this session, we have discussed marketing myopia. In marketing myopia, we have discussed what is marketing myopia. Then we have discussed the condition why companies face marketing myopia. Okay, or under what condition companies face marketing myopia. Then we have discussed, three recommendations to overcome from the marketing myopia. So in marketing myopia, we have discussed three things. We have discussed definition of marketing myopia, then under what condition company may face marketing myopia, and recommendation to overcome from the marketing myopia. Then in the dynamics in marketing, we have discussed companies and marketers response and adjustment. There we have discussed topic like re-engineering, then outsourcing, benchmarking, building good relation with the customers, customization, integrated marketing, communication, etc. Then finally we have discussed the significance of marketing in the airlines industry, banking industry, and in education industry.